live. Hello, everybody, and welcome once again to another edition of Nerd Week Live here on YouTube, brought to you by us, the folks at Nerd Caliber. Boom! Right there. There goes the branding. Yay, branding.
Yes.
Yes, branding is good. Joining me, that is Rodney Brown, editor-in-chief of Nerd Caliber, first-person shooter as a cosplay photographer on the Facebooks, Burley adopter as a tech journalist on the Twitters.
And all around nice guy.
And all around him, well, I try. Joining me tonight with the what are we gonna say? With the stylish chapeau. Oh, and the Ravenclaw shirt. Ravenclaws for life. Byron, introduce yourself.
All right. Hello, folks. It is your boy, Byron D0. I am a contributing writer as well as social media reporter for Nerd Caliber. I also run my own little podcast on the side, which is called the Weep Trash Can Podcast, where we discuss all things anime related. We just recently celebrated our 1 year anniversary, so that's really cool.
Woo!
We're on, yep, check us out. We're on podomac.com. We're also on Google Play, iTunes, Spotify, and SoundCloud.
Cool.
Because SoundCloud is charging for uploads, it's going to be a while before we get all our content up there.
Well, I didn't bake you a cake. I'm sorry. And welcome, April. I can't wait for the Mulan fashion show either. I mean, Mulan. Pede Paz? Fire Night? Pede? Let's go with that. Jake, welcome. Anton, bro, I'm going to say hello and welcome. Oh, there's your hello. The rest of the stuff I can't read. Sorry. Addison, welcome. Thank you all for joining us. And we're going to jump right into our first topic. Our first topic is this interesting little bit of information that dropped today, pretty late in the day, actually. What that is an image of all of the different channels or properties that are going to be integrated into the new Warner Media streaming service, which is called HBO Max. Because guess what? HBO, Warner, it's all the same thing. All owned by.
I just learned that today.
Well, it was part of the big attempt at or by AT&T to buy all of that, and it was held up in courts for the longest time until finally the administration said, "Yeah, you know what? Too big to fail is, stupid. Go right ahead." So, we got a question right up there. Fandroid, Squad, Luck of the Draw. I think they'll keep any of the original jokes or drop them like they did with Maleficent and Cinderella remakes. Original jokes. Oh, from Mulan. We're not into Mulan yet, or Ariel, which we're going to be getting to, or Little Mermaid, I should say. Those will be the last ones. I'll remember that question. I'll try to remember it.
I'll try to as well.
Gotcha, Casey. Howdy. So the reason why the news here applies to us as a nerdy channel is look down in that lower right-hand corner.
Oh, yes, it's important.
Big DC logo right down there, in addition to True TV. So if you're really into your your courtroom stuff, that's where you're going to be able to find it streaming as well. And the upper left corner, the opposite side, the WB, but it's also, you see, Adult Swim, Cartoon Network, and of course all of the Turner Broadcasting stuff, and New Line Cinema, which Warner Brothers bought just before the making of the Hobbit movies, which is why the Hobbit movies look like garbage, or are plotted like garbage, as opposed to the Lord of the Rings movies, which were made before New Line was bought by Warner Brothers, made by New Line. A little bit of trivia there for you.
That makes a lot of sense.
It's anyway. Warner Brothers and movies, particularly nerd movies, are, you can't see me do that.
That's what you get for trying. That's what you get for trying to stretch out one book.
Well, yeah, there's a lot of stupid about that. But in the release, they made it very clear that at least two of the upcoming that had been announced for DC Universe shows Batwoman, and a Riverdale spinoff, Katie Keene. That's what it is. Um, will be going to this HBO Max. Um, that's the reason why you don't have Friends on Netflix anymore, because I guess Warner Brothers or somebody owns the Friends rights. So, but right out of the gate, in whenever spring 2020 this launches, all episodes of Friends will be available to be watched on the streaming service. So,
Yay.
yay. Um,
I do have one interesting tidbit I wanted to point out.
yes.
So Boomerang is amongst the networks that's being packaged here.
Right down there in the middle bottom, folks.
Yes. For anyone that has a Verve subscription, this might affect you significantly, because if the Funimation split from Verve is any indication, we might be seeing the same thing in the future with Boomerang and Verve.
And Verve is still Crunchyroll as well, right? So
Yes, it is.
doesn't Boomerang own both of them?
Um,
I'm looking
I
that
think
up right now because that's a good point that I didn't see. And if it's the case, um, Boomerang and Crunchyroll. Yep. So Boomerang, which is apparently the location of all the Looney Tunes, so that's where I guess WB dumped all the Looney Tunes. Um, yeah, so that's a Warner Media's originally over OTT, over the top um, uh, streaming service. It was Boomerang, and yeah. So Crunchyroll. Oh, hold on, maybe they're not the same thing.
it doesn't sound. Yeah, I
Boomerang.
think. Oh,
Oh, go ahead.
you
Go
go.
ahead. While
I
I'm
was saying,
looking.
I think that Crunchyroll is like its own independent IP. Although it's hard to say at this point, since every like major companies are already owning everything these days.
I'm trying to find out here who is Crunchyroll's parent.
I wouldn't be surprised if it was Viacom, honestly.
Crunchyroll has a parent. I know that. Let me one more second here, folks. So we don't have a ton of topics, but I didn't want to take this long on this one. Otter Media. My bad. There we go.
Otter Media.
Yep.
What else do they have up there? Or no, I'll look it up on my own time.
Yeah. I wonder if Otter Media is a subsidiary of Warner Brothers or AT&T. It is a Time Warner subsidiary.
Oh, so they're safe then.
No, it's so Warner Brothers. It is Crunchyroll. I don't imagine if Crunchyroll as a subscription-based service makes money, and I'm sure it does. It does enough to be able to fund its own anime, that they would pull Crunchyroll in with Boomerang into this overall thing and get rid of Crunchyroll. It may be a service where you can start seeing stuff that's on Crunchyroll like the day after or the week after. Like Hulu's arrangement with most of the Disney stuff or the ABC stuff that it had back. Well, we'll continue to have, I guess, because Disney has now bought almost all of it. But we don't know. We just don't know what that's, what the fallout of all of this is going to be for. Now we know Crunchyroll is potentially going to be affected. DC, will they continue? They're making a second season of Titans. They're putting out press releases left and right about the second season of Titans. Is it going to be on DCU? If it isn't, does my subscription carry over to Warner Media's, to HBO Max as it is now? What sort of HBO content is going to be on HBO Max? Now, because cable companies, cable purveyors are going to be really pissed if HBO puts all of their new content immediately onto HBO Max.
Yeah, I could see that happening. Uh, my biggest question, and I said this or asked earlier, what's going to happen to HBO Go? Is this going to replace it? Are they going to run concurrently? I feel like what will the two packages have to offer if they run side by side though?
So it depends on whether or not HBO Max gets all original HBO content immediately. So in other words, HBO Go is a way for you to see HBO stuff on a mobile device. Um, Watching stuff live, watching it as it happens right now. HBO Max might be, like I said, like Hulu, get that 1 day delay or 1 week delay. Um, in which case they would want to have both of them. They may find out after a couple of um, you know, couple of months that everybody in this time shifted watch system that we have, nobody cares about having something that shows immediately, uh, unless you have your cable subscription. Uh,
Yep.
AT&T's own press release mentions all of the new shows that are going to be what they're calling Max Originals now. And that includes, we've talked about this, Dune the Sisterhood, the one that is a tie-in.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, the one that is a direct tie-in to the upcoming Dune movie being made by Denis Villeneuve. Tokyo Vice, there's a thriller. Oh, I thought it was a comedy because it's got Kaylee Cuoco. But it's a thriller called The Flight Attendant. Greg Berlanti is making that. Berlanti has a 4-picture deal that will be made as Max Originals under this. I'm seeing us buffering.
Oh
So,
no.
well, I don't know what's going on here. Maybe that's on my end because YouTube is telling me the health of the video stream is good and everything should be okay. What are you seeing on your end, Byron? Or
Uh,
anybody in the chat? If you can hear us and you did not experience buffering,
it looks fine to me.
all right, must be on my end. Damn old computer. Anyway, in this article, they also mention highlights. This is a quote from the press release from AT&T. Highlights of HBO programming previously announced for 2020 and 2021 include, and then they list a bunch of things we've talked about, like Lovecraft Country, which is being produced by Jordan Peele and J.J. Abrams. Um,
His Dark Materials.
they don't mention that in here in their press release. Um,
Okay.
Luminous, thank you for that. It's definitely on my end. This one, I haven't seen anything about, and how did this slide under my radar? Avenue 5, high satire aboard a spacebound cruise ship from the Armando Iannucci, who produced Veep, starring Hugh Laurie and Josh Gad.
Ooh, that sounds interesting.
I boy, I want that. But yeah, so here we go. Tony Gonsalves, CEO of Otter Media, now oversees development of HBO Max with Andy Forcell, also from Otter Media, and formerly CEO of Hulu, as the general manager. Otter
Oh,
Media, which owns Crunchyroll, runs this show.
that's that's impressive. Wow.
Yeah. So this is going to be interesting, folks. I was thinking Disney Plus was going to be the only must-have. I don't know.
Uh,
This is
well
getting
played, Warner. Well played.
well played by them. Well played, giant corporate conglomerate monsters. These are the real kaiju's of the world, folks. Disney,
Yeah,
AT&T, HBO, Warner. Oh, Luminous.
and we're gonna.
Make something up with that, with like your Godzillas. A little HBO. Well, anyway, don't worry about it. Um, moving on to our next topic. Our next topic is about Lord of the Rings, the upcoming Amazon series. Why do you ask then? Did an image of Jurassic Park Fallen Kingdom just pop up on your screen? The reason is they've announced the director for the series, and I'm assuming that doesn't mean this person will be directing all the shows. I'm guessing it's sort of a director showrunner position, but yeah, who knows? Um, and that person is in the wrong time frame. How did I skip over? Oh, hold on. All right. Well, we'll continue with this one, and then we'll go to my next one, which I skipped over. Um,
All right.
that director is Juan Antonio Bayona, J.A. Bayona, who was the darling of the Cannes Film Festival back in 2007, apparently, with a movie called they listed it here. Anyway, I can't think of the name of it. Um, and since has made feature films called like The Impossible, A Monster Calls, but The Orphanage was the name of his big 10-minute
Oh.
standing ovation at the 2007 Cannes Film Festival. Wow. Um,
And then he made this.
and then he made Jurassic Park: Fallen Kingdom. I don't know how much of this you can lay at his feet, but God, that was an awful movie.
I didn't care for Jurassic World, so I had no inclination to see it. So that's
I
saying
didn't care
something.
for Jurassic World either, but it was fun and stupid, and I figured, okay, let's see what happens, after that. And it is the most idiotic plot. Like it's a completely different story. Spoiler alert, folks, about rich people and clones that got wedged into a dinosaur movie. It's
Uh,
like mind-blowingly stupid.
oh boy.
So I don't know, I don't know how to feel about this. I mean, anybody who got a 10-minute standing ovation at Cannes, I haven't seen any of his other films. I haven't seen The Impossible. Good cast, um, but I don't know what it was about it. Just one of those movies that didn't appeal to me, probably because it wasn't that nerdy. A Monster Calls, starring Sigourney Weaver, Liam Neeson, and Felicity Jones. Um, did direct the first two episodes of Showtime's Penny Dreadful.
Oh,
Okay, it's coming back up. It's a little, yeah, let me get that
this
just a
much.
little. Um, I'd like to think that this was an outlier, was a mistake, is not indicative of Bayona's quality of work. Because I really want to see this. Amazon must see something in him. They've committed $1 billion. That's a B, folks.
Yep.
To
That's
make
like that's 1,000 million.
that's 1,000 of them millions. To making sure that this series is as high quality as it can possibly be. So money doesn't necessarily mean quality. Look at Cameron's Avatar. But we can hope.
Fingers crossed.
Speaking of hope, and oh my God, the hope involved in this. That right there, of course, is Kaneda walking up to his awesome motorcycle with a reclining seat. I mean, I could ride that thing actually. That'd be pretty cool. And the news is, not only are we getting a 4K remaster of the original Akira movie, pronouncing it like the Japanese people do, sort of, we are getting a new anime series from the director and mangaka of Akira, going back to the English, Katsuhiro Otomo. And I can't wait. A series.
Yes,
Full series. This
because
is good. Good.
there's a lot of content that will definitely make for an intriguing series in this IP.
Yeah, Tomo apparently felt that the movie adaptation was a failure because of time constraints, because he couldn't add all of the things that apparently are in the manga that, not having not read the manga, I have no idea. I can't wait. I cannot wait I have to because there's no no statement at all of when this is going to happen.
Do we know what studio is going to be behind it?
Looking at the cat, hello. I just saw somebody else say hello, so I'm going to jump in there. Dylan, hello. Welcome to the show. The
Welcome.
the article I'm reading does not say. Oh no, it is Sunrise. The
Wow. Okay.
Yeah, the original maker of the movie.
Okay.
Um,
So I'm not worried about quality then.
yep. Um,
They have money.
they have money, and they have Otomo's blessing, and he's going to be doing it. So yeah. And by the way, this is not related whatsoever to the live action. You know, the being directed by Taika Waititi or involving Taika Waititi. We don't still know whether or not he's going to be writing, directing, or both. I haven't seen that announced, and that was kind of a big question mark when he was brought on board. Um, and being produced by DiCaprio, of course, which because apparently he's a huge fan, and hopefully not involving DiCaprio in any way, shape, or form on screen anyway. They also announced that Otomo is making another new anime or an anime film, which is called Orbital Era, and it's a near future sort of hard, realistic sci-fi about building a space colony. Described as an action adventure story following the lives of some young boys surviving in this peculiar environment. Um, Very much looking forward to that because I love those kind of hard sci-fi stories.
Sounds like a space age version of Grave of the Fireflies.
Uh, yeah, hopefully not that dark, but I mean, not really a spoiler, but the title kind of gives it away.
Mm-hmm.
Um, but we'll see. Um, anyway, sometime off in the future, but boy, I can't wait. This just so looking forward to this. And moving on to our next topic. So that image that just popped up in front of you there is the teaser, and I can't slide this up and down, but the little arc up in the upper left-hand corner is the EW exclusive symbol. This was an exclusive given to Entertainment Weekly, so credit to them for the image
Yes.
of the first big reveal poster of the upcoming Steven Universe movie, The Musical, or It's a Musical.
Yes.
And I know jack about this. So Byron, drive this bus.
Okay, so this is like their big reveal going into San Diego Comic Con, which I believe is next week. And there's been a lot of talk in the fan base about what this movie's going to be about, who the villain is, and where it's going to be at in the timeline. So there are a couple of things to dissect from this poster here. The first, we have a clearer image of the villain, who we speculate might be some sort of failed attempt at a diamond. Um, all the crystal gems have their attire from the end of the most previous season, with the exception of Steven, who has a new shirt and a new jacket, which looks like it confirms some sort of time skip, because Steven has had the same outfit for the entire series. But it looks like with everything that's happened in the narrative, he has matured significantly. So it only makes sense that they would allow him to grow some. And you can see in the background that there are some new structures in the base of operations for the crystal gems. The barn area has some sort of skyscraper going on there. And you can't really zoom in on this picture, but the temple looks about the same except for a couple of new additions. I recommend looking it up on your own if you want to get a better look at them. But it looks like looks like it's gonna be fun. And I should definitely add, it's a TV movie, so it's going to be on Cartoon Network. All the cast is involved. We'll probably know more at San Diego Comic Con where they reveal the trailer for it. And what I see so far has me excited.
It definitely looks interesting. Yeah, that is a different color on his shirt, different, and Stephen, Stephen is a they, yes. Um,
I believe so.
they don't usually wear the jacket, so they
Nope.
are also wearing sandals with socks. It looks like so. Yeah.
Oh no, no. Steven's wears sandals.
Okay.
Yep.
Oh, skin tone matches. There we go. All right.
Yes.
Um, so do we know? Did the article say when this is hitting Cartoon Network?
It don't. It says on the poster it's coming this fall.
Yep.
There's no actual time set just yet, but again, it will probably get more details at San Diego Comic Con.
So Chance the Rapper and Patty LuPone are
Yes,
two of the people involved in this. Wow.
Patty LuPone has been involved in the series thus far as in the role of former antagonist Yellow Diamond. So
Okay.
she will be reprising her role for this film.
Cool. Cool. Awesome. So it looks interesting. Again, like I said, other than taking pictures of people who are in cosplay from this at cons, I know almost nothing about it. So thank you, Byron.
Not a
Um,
problem.
and moving on to our next topic. So this is way not nearly as much fun as Steven Universe. So that image that just popped up there is of Harley's Joker, the cosplayer who cosplays one of the best Jokers in the world.
Absolutely.
And specifically, that is the image that he created. I don't know who the photographer is. Um, in descriptions of it, Antonio or Antonio describes it as we did an editing process. So I assume there's at least an editor, and maybe he took the photos himself. I'm not really sure. Um, Anthony Misiano. So the reason that's up there, and what this article is, or this piece is about, is not about Harley's Joker per se. It's about the artist Arthur Soydam, best known for his Marvel Zombies covers, apparently stealing this image, or let's just say using this image as the basis of a painting, which is literally an exact copy of this image, to create a lenticular variant cover for the upcoming Deceased line, which is essentially Marvel Zombies and which has Arthur Soydam
Yes.
doing all the covers, just like Marvel Zombies did. Um, the lenticular cover, and I couldn't find an image large enough that showed the changes, but it basically, as you move the cover, it changes to a sort of skull-like zombie face.
Yeah.
Bleeding Cool pointed this out a couple of days ago, and Soydam responded very quickly that he listed all of the technology that was used in making this. So basically, what it boiled down to was an overhead projector, and if you read between the lines, he projected this image onto the canvas and then painted an exact copy, like color for color, line for line, shade for shade, pixel for pixel, of this image. Uh,
Wow.
and then never said whether or not, never mentioned Harley's Joker at all. Never said, said that, an iconic image of the Joker.
That is so disrespectful that he did that.
It is. And he admitted that he did it because he has now reached out to Anthony to try to pay for the rights to use the image after the fact.
And as of this discussion, we don't know what his response is, do we?
We don't know we know what Anthony's response is to Soydam. We don't know what Soydam's response is back. Anthony's response is, so I don't want to read the. Yeah, so he messaged Harley's Joker on his cosplay page, and then this is Anthony Anthony's response, Harley's Joker's response. Hi there, thank you for writing me. I've seen the image going around. I'm not sure if it's the same image you're referring to. The one I've seen, however, does not seem like a painting. It very much appears to be a simple Photoshop manipulation, some kind of paint filter applied to my photograph. It may be a traced piece done with a tablet sampling colors from my photo, but it, again, only referring to the image I've seen, it lines up pixel for pixel with my image, and the colors are digitally perfect matched. That photograph of mine actually took me weeks to create. It's not just one photograph. It's, I believe, 8 or 9 that I used and stitched together carefully, every individual element. So he goes on to explain the goal being it looks like a simple photo. You see, I've been drawing. I apologize if I seem cold. I'm just very attached to my work. I hope you understand. But then it doesn't say anything about whether or not he has given Soydam permission to do it after this in exchange for any compensation or anything. It sounds like he's saying don't do it.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, that's artist integrity for you in a nutshell. As an artist myself, I totally understand where Harley's Joker is coming from. You don't want to like no amount of money can buy the amount of effort that you put into a piece that you are so proud of. And I mean, Rodney, you as a creative yourself, you definitely understand that.
Yep. I stumbled across a painting based on one of my photographs hanging in a bar. I didn't wasn't actually in the bar. I saw it. Somebody had sent me a picture of it. In a bar, and I think it was Idaho. Um, and in this case, the person, it was a student in some art school in Idaho who had reached out to the cosplayer, and the cosplayer had said, yeah, to do this artwork just as a student project. And then it's hanging up in the bar not as a sold piece, but as just, you know, the student has some sort of relationship with the people in the bar. Should the cosplayer have reached out to me about that? Absolutely. Do I care? No, because it's not a monetary transaction. Um, Arthur Soydam got paid to paint this or to create
Yeah.
this cover, paid by DC. So, at the very least, Anthony is owed a check, which apparently Soydam is trying to give him. But since it wasn't done with his permission, he has every right to say, yep, nope, paint something else, pull that off the DC's cover. And honestly, I kind of hope he does that. And these two things are not connected, but Soydam has a reputation in the convention industry of being just an absolute monster to work with. To the extent of taking over tables from other artists who don't show up early enough in the morning to pick them up because he tries to get, yeah. Montreal Comic Con 2015 was the last recorded time that happened. Look it up, folks. Because he tries to get 4 tables, because as he did the only time I've ever actually seen him somewhere was Boston Comic Con, the one time it was at the Heinz Convention Center. He had 4 tables spread out because he had puts all his artwork up there so people can buy, see all sorts of different things that they can buy. At Montreal, there were 2 Canadian artists, actually local artists in Artist Alley, who had the 2 tables next to him, didn't show up before he did, and he just took them over. Montreal put out a generally believed to be, but we don't know for sure, garbage statement about how very last minute they had changed some the floor structure around, and unfortunately didn't tell the Canadian artists that were right next to. Yeah, no.
So they were just trying to butter up Arthur.
Sounds like it.
Yeah. This reminds me of like like a lot. There's a particular wrestler, Alexa Bliss. She has had a tendency of posting fan art and not giving credit to the artist. That's what this kind of reminds me of.
Yep. Yeah, I remember that. Luminous. I recently found out that the Coons Popeye statue, which is now at the Boston Harbor Casino, is a copy of a Dark Horse Popeye toy statue, but Coons had permission to do so. I did not know that.
Wow.
One, you know, good for them to get permission, because that's a gigantic statue, as I recall, from seeing the coverage of the opening, and it would be a real pain in the ass for them to have to pull that out. I assume they would try not to, which would mean, you know.
Mm-hmm.
But again, it's Wynn Resorts, and they have the money to do that.
Indeed.
So this will be playing out over the course of the remainder of this week, folks, and maybe even longer, but I doubt it. I kind of want Harley's Joker. I kind of want Anthony to get his, money. I kind of also really want him to just tell Soydam to pound sand.
And that's putting it nicely.
Yeah, yeah. Five Nights at Freddy FNAF fan. It's a little redundant, but okay. Can you please play the Bonnie cosplay? We don't play videos during our show here. You're perfectly welcome to go to the YouTube channel. Well, you're on the YouTube channel, but go to the front page of the YouTube channel and find one and rock it. Enjoy.
Have fun.
Moving on to our next topic. And again, something much, much better. The first trailer for the live action, and I mean really live action, not, CGI lions, of Mulan dropped, and it looks beautiful.
Yes.
It's, kinda Hero. No,
yes.
It's kinda Curse of the Golden Flower. It's looks like Chinese-made, beautiful Chinese historical drama, and I'm all for that.
Indeed. I just checked out the trailer before we started this broadcast, and it was definitely beautiful. There's a lot to take from what we know so far about this project. One, it's not gonna be a musical, so yeah, you don't see. That's why usually you don't hear any vocals, which is interesting because the actress playing Mulan. I forget her name. I forget how to pronounce her name. It's Lu Wulang. I'm bad at this.
Yifei. Lu Yifei.
Yes, Lu Yifei. She's actually a very accomplished singer. So it's too bad we won't get to hear her pipes in this. But given the lore of Mulan in China and the history of it, it makes sense that they would make it a musical. They're also not going to have Li Shang or Mushu. So they're going for more serious vibe. They're going for respecting the history of this character.
Yeah, I really like this. I like the fact that, with the other, actual live action and not really actual live action remakes like Beauty and the Beast and the upcoming Lion King. They're hewing really close to the story. Minor changes.
Yeah.
So they even have they've got CGI teapots and candlesticks in Beauty and the Beast. This isn't going to be the case here. They're not going to have an Eddie Murphy mini dragon wise ass it. They are going, like you said, Byron, much closer to the actual legendary story, and I'm all for that. I know there are a ton of people who aren't. There are a lot of people out there who absolutely are just pissed that Mushu is not going to be in here.
Well, you know what I can say to them.
Yeah.
You can go to any video store, buy the Blu-ray of Mulan and watch that.
That's true. Absolutely. You can go do that, folks. The luminous Chinese historical dramas are excellent, so I hope this movie resembles them. I particularly recommend the movie House of the Flying Daggers. 100%.
That's what this reminds me of.
Yeah, so House of the Flying Daggers and Curse of the Golden Flower and for that matter Hero, they all have a a beautiful visual tonal style based around seasonality and color and so on. Particularly Hero, where there are gray, you know, basically black and white gray scenes, red scenes, and so on. House of the Flying Daggers is very similar to that. Um, you know, everything that happens in the bamboo forest plays up the greens and so on. I don't get that from this one. I certainly, thank God, don't get the Wall or the Great Wall or whatever the heck that Matt Damon movie was called.
Can we
Uh,
not talk about that?
yeah,
I'm,
let's not. Except it was made by a really well-respected Chinese film director who does wonderful historical dramas. So, I don't get that at all. I get something much closer to Curse of the Golden Flower or Hero or something like that. Uh, but I don't quite get the, really stylized Chinese auteur feel of House of the Flying Daggers.
well, I mean that one little piece of wire work in the trailer. That's what reminded me of House of the Flying Daggers.
Well, yeah, it's true, but then again, that's wire work is like gunplay in an American movie.
True.
It's gonna be in there. Unless it's a modern, modern family drama, and even then, who knows? There's gonna be some sort of wire work, but it's done really well. Everything about this is done really well. Um, I'm a big fan. Looking forward to it a lot. I love the costume designs, the changes they made. Well, obviously they
Yes.
had to make real costumes, so um, when, like in the beginning of the animated movie, when she is in her presentation makeup to sort of be presented as a bride, the makeup is different because you probably couldn't get that complex in what they were going for in the animated movie, but it's gorgeous.
Yes.
Oh, that is absolutely stunning. Beautiful design work.
And
Um,
the lines that were delivered about from the matchmaker, that definitely was so powerful. Just talking about like the role of a woman in their society, and it's like everything that Mulan's not.
yep. Um, According to the director, speaking of music, music will play a role in the movie, but it is not a musical. So I'm not really sure whether that means. Wow, Liu Yifei is 31 years old.
Wow.
Um, that's amazing. Drake and Chrissy, hi, welcome to the show.
Welcome.
Um, Liu is fluent in English. Has been in
Mm,
was in 2008's Forbidden Kingdom. Jet Li and
yes.
Jackie Chan. Meh. And 2014's Outcast. Nicolas Cage and Hayden
With Nicolas
Christensen.
Cage.
And
Mm,
Hayden Christensen. Oh my God, that poor woman.
mm,
Uh,
mm.
anyway, um,
This is
so yay for them. I'm looking forward to this. Can't wait. And I only have to wait until November.
in the trailer it says spring 2020.
March. That's right, March 2020. Um, they had moved it forward. That's right. It was supposed to be, actually, it was supposed to be November 2018, and then they skipped it a year and a half forward to March 2020. So March 2020, folks. All right,
I'm okay with that.
sticking to the Disney live-action bandwagon.
Oh yes.
Next, we're talking about Ariel. We're talking about the Little Mermaid and the casting of Ariel. Uh, and yeah, sip that tea. This is my really big mug of tea. It's not tea, but that's okay. Um,
I'll finish my cider off.
so this is Halle Bailey, and I did not say Halle Berry. Yes.
Woo!
Uh, Boy, that name is too close. But this is Halle Bailey, who has been cast as Ariel, and there are stories out there, and I don't doubt that they're true, or at least to some extent true, that a certain segment of the internet has lost its collective mind over the fact that, now what is it about her that I think Byron, is she black? She kind of looks black to me. Is she black? Is that what it is?
I think she might be.
I think she might be black.
I think she might be.
So the internet,
Yeah.
or at least some part of the internet, is really pissed off that a humanoid fish isn't white.
Hey guys, I got a spoiler for you. Mermaids aren't real.
Exactly. And so one, she was drawn as white because Disney, but the fact that she's a mermaid in an ocean, close to Northern Europe, somewhere off Northern Europe, Denmark or whatever. I'm assuming they're tying into the whole Hans Christian Andersen thing. She's still not a human. She's a fish. She probably should be green. She probably should look like Shape of Water dude. I mean, come on. Her tail is green. Oh, God. I can see people being somewhat upset over some of the changes in Mulan because they're structural changes. You're not going to get all those wonderful songs if people thought they were wonderful. You're not going to get funny Eddie Murphy and his stereotype dragon named Mushu. Um, but those are things you grew up with and so on. And I understand you probably, some of you who might be complaining, grew up with, nobody who's complaining is complaining because they grew up with a white Ariel. This isn't about, any complaints that are out there are not about, Disney, you're ruining my childhood. It's racism. It's racism, folks. Racism, racism, racism. Fight me.
I can't begin to express my disgust of the reaction. I mean, I'm not surprised. I'm never surprised when I see this at this point in my life. It's just like, we're doing this again, really? Really? This is the reason I don't get involved in fandoms. This is the reason why this is the reason why I just try to stay off of forums as much as possible. I don't mess with Tumblr. I try to avoid 4chan like the plague. Even Reddit's getting a lot more toxic by the day.
Well, Reddit's kind of always been toxic, but 4chan, stay away. But if that's where you want to go and find people who are going to be saying racist garbage about this wonderful casting, be my guest. Go right ahead. Dive right into 4chan. Dive into 8chan or whatever the one that's too racist for 4chan. Yes, that's a thing, folks. There is a new community forum.
I learned something.
Yes, something you don't want to learn.
You mean hate?
Yep.
You mean hate Chan?
Hate Chan. Yes, hate Chan. So apparently, I thought this was a joke going around, although I think it would be hilarious that Melissa McCarthy is being looked at for the role of Ursula. Varieties were reporting that as something she is in talks. Not that it's an internet rumor. I think that would be great. Rob Marshall is directing this. Who didn't?
What's he done?
Well, Rob Marshall, a whole Stand By Me, like a whole bunch of stuff.
Wow.
Yeah. League of Their Own. No, that was Penny Marshall. Was League of Their Own. Brother and Sister. Oh well, I'll have to look back at his IMDb. But anyway, he just recently did what everybody considers to be a very credible job doing Mary Poppins Returns. So,
yes.
So, as an update, that was a hit mostly with most Disney fans. And so that bodes well for this. But, the people who are complaining about this casting aren't going to go see it anyway, so who cares? It's not going to be made for them. They're not going to see it. They're going to keep complaining. And, screw them. So
that means I can actually bring friends to watch it.
That's right. That's right. More seats for us. On that note, folks, on the screw them notes, more seats for us. Thank you all for joining us. Thank you for being in the chat. We will be at Connecticon this weekend in beautiful Hartford, Connecticut. It's got a beautiful river. It's got actually some beautiful buildings. But anyway. Yeah, it's beautiful river. There's some beautiful buildings. And it's got a beautiful science center. Gorgeous science center right next to the the Connecticut Convention Center. Anyway, we'll be there. We will have we're featured guests. Yay! Second featured guest role. Well, not featured guests. We're guest panelists. Second panelist role of the summer. PortCon, Maine, a couple of weekends ago. Connecticon this weekend. Saturday, 5:30 p.m. Riverside 3 room. We'll be doing again the Building Your Own Nerdy YouTube panel.
Are you going to be streaming it by any chance? Because I can't be there for it. I'm sad about that.
We will not be streaming it. I don't know if Connecticon is going to be doing any live streaming. I think one of the things when you sign up is they say, is it okay if we do this? And I think we said yes, but I don't know if they picked us. I haven't heard. So anyway, folks, 5:30 p.m. Saturday. If you're available, stop by. We will also, as we did at both of our panels at PortCon, have a giveaway. Not entirely sure which one of the things that we have in hand to give away is going to be the giveaway yet, so I don't want to say what it is. But we will have a giveaway. And then I'm not really sure where we go after that.
I believe Boston Comic Con is like the next one on the slate.
Pop Cult Anime Con.
Oh.
The wonderful little Pop Cult Anime Con in Framingham, Massachusetts. It's in its third year. It's a fun 2-day event. Little con, great people, lots of fun. It's at the Sheraton Tower, which is the castle in Framingham, right off Route 9, where Super Mega Fest is every year. If you're an anime fan and you're looking for something to go to that's chill, low-key, but fun, has all the stuff that you'd want at an anime con, and in a really cool building, great venue. Pop Cult Anime Con, the first full weekend in August. So it's a 4th and 5th, I think. Luminous. Pop Cult is a fun little anime con. Yes, it is. I enjoy it. And then, yes, we will be at Boston Comic Con, Fan Expo Boston. Fan Expo Boston, we will have a booth right next to the cosplay sign-up, cosplay contest sign-up. We will have our very own 10 by 20 booth. So, space. Swing by, get photos. Swing by at our table. This is, I think, a guarantee because you have to pay now to get a table, a fan table at Connecticon. It's like $1. But still, that locks it in for you. So it's not run early in the morning and try to get one before everybody else has grabbed one. We've got one assigned to us. So we'll be there taking photos. And again, swing by, say hi. And that's it for the plugs. Byron, one more time, 1-year anniversary of what is it again?
Weeb Trash Can Podcast. We are on iTunes, Google Play, Spotify, and SoundCloud. Look for the Kawaii Trash Can with a tentacle and a magic girl wand.
Because why wouldn't you? Luminous, as always, stay hydrated. Yes, in the nice warm weather's coming up here, folks. Stay hydrated. Enjoy the fun. We'll see, hopefully, a bunch of you at Connecticon, and then we'll see you guys next week. Thank you, and bye-bye.
Bye.